Most oceans become completely dark once the sun disappears. But in some places around the world, something impossible seems to happen. The ocean suddenly starts glowing bright blue. Every wave lights up. Every splash creates flashes of light in the water. And for centuries, nobody could explain why this was happening. For someone seeing it for the first time, it looks almost supernatural, as if the ocean itself had suddenly come alive. Bright blue light appears inside the waves. Every movement in the water creates glowing trails. When waves crash on the shore, they explode into electric blue sparks. Even footsteps in the water can leave glowing footprints that slowly fade away. For centuries, people who witnessed this phenomenon had no idea what they were actually seeing. Sailors wrote about glowing oceans in their logs as far back as the 18th century. Some believed the water contained a mysterious natural electricity. Others thought it was a rare chemical reaction in the sea. And a few believed it was something far stranger, a sign from the ocean itself. For centuries, sailors who crossed the oceans at night often reported something they could not explain. Entire sections of the sea would suddenly begin to glow. Some described the waves as if they were filled with stars. Others wrote about ships leaving long, glowing trails behind them as they moved through the water. In old ship logs from the 18th and 19th centuries, these glowing oceans were sometimes described as a milky sea. To sailors who had no scientific explanation, the sight could be unsettling. Some believed the glowing water was a warning from the sea. Others thought it was a strange electrical energy trapped in the ocean. And in certain parts of the world, sailors even believed the glowing water was connected to spirits of the sea. But despite all these stories and theories, nobody could explain what was really happening. The glowing ocean remained a mystery for generations. But today, scientists know that the truth is even more fascinating. The glowing water is not caused by electricity, it is not caused by minerals, and it is not caused by pollution. Instead, the light comes from millions of microscopic organisms floating in the ocean. These tiny creatures are called dinoflagellates. They are a type of plankton, so small that thousands of them can fit inside a single drop of water. During the day, these organisms are completely invisible. They drift with the ocean currents, floating silently in the water. But at night, something incredible happens. When the water around them is disturbed, these tiny organisms suddenly produce light. This light is created through a chemical reaction inside their cells. When the plankton are shaken by movement, two chemicals inside their bodies react together. The reaction releases energy in the form of light. And because millions of plankton react at the same time, the ocean suddenly begins to glow. Every wave becomes a flash of blue light. Fish swimming through the water leave glowing trails behind them. And even a single hand moving through the ocean can light up the water around it. Scientists call this phenomenon bioluminescence. It is one of the most beautiful natural light displays on Earth. But the question is, why do these tiny organisms produce light in the first place? After years of research, scientists believe the glow is actually a defense mechanism. When a predator disturbs the plankton, the sudden flash of light can attract larger animals. For example, if a small fish tries to eat the plankton, the glowing flash may attract bigger fish nearby. Those larger fish may attack the predator. In other words, the plankton use light as an alarm system, a tiny signal that says something just moved here. And in the dark ocean, even a brief flash of light can reveal the presence of a predator. Even though the organisms responsible for this glow exist in many parts of the ocean, seeing the water light up like this is actually very rare. For the phenomenon to become visible, several conditions must align perfectly. First, the concentration of plankton must be extremely high. Second, the water must remain relatively calm. Strong waves or storms can disperse the organisms and reduce the glow. Temperature also plays an important role. Most bioluminescent events occur in warm, tropical waters, where plankton populations can grow rapidly. And even when all these conditions are present, the glow may only last for a short period of time, sometimes a few nights, sometimes only a few hours. That is why people who witness glowing oceans often describe it as a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a brief moment when the sea itself seems to come alive with light. The next time you see waves glowing blue in the dark, remember that you are not looking at electricity or magic. You are watching millions of microscopic organisms lighting up the ocean at the exact same moment. Tiny living lights drifting silently in the dark water, and for a few brief moments, turning the sea into something that looks almost unreal. A glowing ocean beneath the night sky, one of the most extraordinary natural spectacles on Earth.